is saying, go, right?
And even if you actually think about the structure of the United States, like everything about it is really based on the Egyptian system. So even the white man is using the ancient African system to run its own country. So it's like,
That's a fact. I was watching the Oscars last night, and they was giving out statues of Ptah.
right? They don't even realize it.
Yeah, they was giving out statues of Ptah.
Because everybody wants to think that we're in
In this
Africa.
category.
Right, right. of acting, of reenacting life.
Yeah, reenacting life, the drama of life. How ironic.
You get an award for the best person that's seen the realist in that reenactment gets an award of Ptah.
Yes.
Deep from Hollywood.
From Hollywood.
So Hollywood ain't what we think it is, right? They going in some ancient Egyptian stuff right there.
And they always knew this stuff because you look at great movie writers such as, and matter of fact, he was a writer, Stan Lee, who was the comic book king.
Mm-hmm.
This guy had occult knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
When he was making all of these characters of superheroes, do we think that he did not understand that word hero was the gods they wrote? He knew this. So when you're looking at Superman, Batman, Catwoman, you're looking at the ancient deities.
Well, he said that the X-Men, I think, were based on the Black Panther, like the like black people. That the whole X-Men was really about like, African and black stuff. So,
yes.
Yes. So
there's a brother named Asir. I believe his name is Asir. I met him many years ago. He was a Moor. He wrote a little book about Superman, and he was breaking down the metaphysical about the red and the blue, and it was really interesting take. And he was breaking down that science. Yeah, brother Asir.
Oh, Duke of Tears. I need to reach out to him.
Oh yeah, the Duke of Tears. That's him.
Yeah. He's. I need to reach back out there. I haven't talked to him in a while. Him and his wife. He has a beautiful wife. Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to like really break down the 5% knowledge. The whole aspect of like the Earth, the Sun, the Earth's revolving around the Sun, and man being the sun and all that stuff like that. So that's like ancient Egyptian knowledge, right?
Yeah, this is ancient cosmology. Because we say knowledge, wisdom, understanding. We say black man, black woman, black child. We say sun, moon, and star. We say that these things are the same. Tahuti said this thousands of years ago. He said, as above, so below.
Mm-hmm.
This is the ancient Egyptian mystery system. It's a modern reinterpretation of the ancient Egyptian mystery system.
And what an arm, leg, arm, head. Does that come out of the 5% nation, or is that?
Yes, that does. And that's an acronym for the word of law. Arm, leg, arm, head. You see?
Yep.
But in the book, I actually talk about where this name Allah came from. A lot of people don't know that the word Allah it's a composite deity. It comes from two deities out of ancient Egypt. It comes from Ra, and it also comes from Tahuti. So I don't want to spoil the secret by the book.
Right.
By the book, I will demonstrate I will demonstrate its etymology. Not only will I demonstrate its etymology, I will demonstrate its etiology. This origin, the science behind the origin of the name and how it slowly developed, how it came through Proto-Semitic language as the god El, and then El morphed into other forms of this particular deity, and those two particular deities came together and became this one deity called Allah.
In Yoruba we have the deity called Ella.
Okay.
So there's something Ella, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because in ancient Kemet we had the 7 Ali. The 7 Ali is none other than the 7 Orishas.
When they talk about like the Native Americans that they speak Hebrew, and the ones that there's a certain group in America that speaks Hebrew, I think there's something to the language when you get into the linguistics and stuff. Because I was speaking to a Babala who talked about the fact that some of the Yoruba language is connected to Kemet and to ancient Egyptian, I mean ancient and to Ge'ez and Hebrew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. I talked about that. It was the work done by Gerald Massey. Gerald Massey said when the Jews left Egypt, they still retained the Egyptian language.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yes, you'll find a lot of the Semitic language. You'll find some of the Semitic roots in Kemetic. Not to say that Kemetic is a Semitic language. I'm not saying that, so don't nobody quote me for saying that. I'm saying that you'll find Semitic languages. You'll find a whole language philo from the Kemetic, because the roots of the Semitic languages, such as the Proto-Semitic, where they all come from, that's the mother tongue, Proto-Semitic. The Proto-Semitic morphed into other dialects, such as Aramaic, such as Assyric, such as Syriac, such as Arabic and Hebrew.
Right.
Those are just dialects of the one mother tongue called Proto-Semitic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the roots of that dialect you can find in the Kemetic language. There's a whole body of work done on that.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So this next book that's coming about the 5% Nation, what was the thing that made you decide you wanted to clear things up about that?
Well, as everybody knows, like I said, I came through the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths, and I still love the nation of Gods and Earth. That was my early foundation. We have a very strong foundation. It made me into the kind of man that I am today. It made me into the warrior scholar that I am today. We were made warrior scholars because every book we read, every lesson we read, anything that we set out about, we was tried on the square. We had to show and prove it. You just couldn't say it. You had to show and prove it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came out of my house, I was among men who were sharp and they had knowledge of self. And when you stepped on the corner, you better know your lessons. If you didn't know your lessons back then, you get your butt whooped.
Woo! So yeah.
And it was that strenuous. And so it made me don't come out of my house until I studied my lessons. I memorized them, but not only memorized them, I showed and proved them, and then I came out and was ready to build with any of the gods. So I stepped away from the nation of gods and earth because when I came in to start teaching about the black woman as God, I said, this is time now. For many years I knew about it, but I wouldn't teach it because I was still loyal to the nation of gods and earth. I said, how can I teach this? But I'm going to get the backlash from the members of the nation of gods and earth that I love passionately. Mm-hmm. So a brother by the name of Divine Prince, he told me, he said, Brother Tahuti, he said, you probably would he said, you would be more effective if you stepped away from the nation of gods and earth. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did, so that I could teach that. But I cannot leave many of the brothers behind me because I love many of my brothers that I have passionate relationships with. Master Supreme Allah, Tisman, Shafe, these are my brothers.
And I think that if we probably had something like that going on now, people would be a lot more sharp, if we had something close to that, just having knowledge of self. That was that just brought a different group of individuals together, that don't exist right now.
And so these brothers have been studying, and they agree with me that the black woman is God. So now I'm saying this now. I said, you know what? When I write this, after I wrote this book about Elijah, this was my gift to the nation of gods and earth, because I'm trying to wake some of my brothers up that are still caught in this Islamic paradigm. So now I'm going to step back, because nobody ever exiled me. I wasn't banned from the nation of gods and earth. But I think it's time for me to step back into the nation of gods and earth and cause a civil war.
Oh wow, okay.
Because it's time for somebody has to bring the conversation to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, then this group of people, this group of men and women will become obsolete.
Mm. Wow.
So I think it's time now, because I'm ready to show and prove. And I'm not talking about no violence. I'm not talking about disrespecting anyone. I'm talking about sitting down at the table, bring the scholars out, and let's show and prove this thing. I'm ready to show forth and prove who the gods are. That's why the name of the book is called Return of the Gods to the New Egypt, New York City. I like it, New York City, as the empire state of the United States Empire. This is the new Egypt because of the character of New York. The same way like in Egypt, everybody from all over the world, from every commerce, every money, every trader came to Egypt. To either sell something, buy something, come in and go to school, bring their clothes, their fashions, whatever it was, they came to Egypt. This is the same behavior that takes place right here in the United States, in New York City. And the building that symbolizes this is the Empire State Building. Not only the Empire State Building, but right here in Central Park, they actually have the obelisk. They call it Cleopatra's Needle.
Right.
The obelisk, Osiris's penis, that they took from ancient Egypt and put it in Central Park.
Right.
The real obelisk that they took out of Egypt.
That's crazy. So listen, how much time do we have? I'm gonna make sure we don't just get cut off.
Wow, I'm not sure. We might get cut off any time.
Right. So let's just do some final words, just in case.
Yes. Okay. Listen, I need your support. Please go purchase the book. I have 2 books out: The Black Woman is God, and I also have Unveiling the Supreme Wisdom and Esoteric Analysis of the Teachings of Elijah Muhammad. You can purchase that on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if anybody is looking to want to discuss these issues with me personally, you can always contact me at Nathan Howard. I'm at, you would have to write to, Smart Communications /PADOC, P.O. Box 33028, St. Petersburg, Florida. Zip code is 33733. And don't forget to put the inmate number, which is Nathan Howard MC-2310. So you can write me